Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is, well, these are even, because it's a bulk introduction, these are your full moon Gods at Play readings. Now I do the Gods at Play readings because full moons are about oppositions. They are moon opposition sun. They are also about illumination, about light being shed upon things. So they can be very much about revelation. I've made some notes about this particular full moon because let's face it, we've just come off the back of the peak of the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, which is playing out in a very interesting way, both in the world and energetically, if you're sensitive to that sort of thing. Certainly I noticed a little something. Little probably being a very patronising and minimising word there. But anyway, moving on. This full moon in Libra is at 18 degrees of Libra, so that is a master degree. Very much about death and rebirth, but being Libra, it's also very much about balance. And the themes that seem to be coming out of the astrologers are the balance between personal freedom and submission to a higher power, whether that be God, the divine, or whether that be governments, corporations, the law, whatever. Balance between your personal life and your relationships, and it's a very relationship themed moon as well, and also balance within, basically with your shadow self. So there's a lot of potential for work for you to be doing with your own shadow side and letting a lot of things go. This full moon in Libra is very much a declaration to act, and you may find yourself doing a complete about face on some belief or another that you have held for a long time, where you suddenly go, you know what, it's not even that I used to be wrong, but now I'm going to do something completely different because what I did think doesn't apply anymore. And it may well be some form of illumination that brings this to the surface. Now, there isn't a question with this reading. We are looking at the energies that are in play. The top row, it takes a very Gnostic view of the gods, seeing them as archontic forces or energies that are pressing us down, that are trying to separate us from our higher purpose, our higher selves. The bottom row of cards will be those forces, gods or energies that are trying to lift us up, that are assisting us to reach towards our higher purpose, our higher self, ascension, if you're into that sort of thing. Now, there's a timestamp, like I said, down below. You can fast forward through all my blurb because you want to look at your sun sign, probably first, which everybody does, but your rising sign as well. And it's a full moon. Look at your moon sign. You can examine other areas of your chart as well. And I will say in the readings which house this is happening in for which rising sign. Anything else, any other details, they're in the description below. Please press like, it helps promote the video. Please subscribe, it helps the channel, and I am very, very grateful. And thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed so far. I think I've only said that in about one video, and I'm slowly approaching 400 videos already, but I'm still a young channel and every subscriber helps. There is a link to a Facebook group down there, so if you want to see maybe slightly more effective notifications than the YouTube notifications of when I release new videos, but also I post all the astrology videos that I am learning stuff from because they're good astrologers and they're well worth a watch, simple as that. And sometimes I post readings from other readers because they deserve the exposure and they're good readers. There is a lot of good readers. Quick plug, Divinely Feminine, Woke Therapist, Jamie Zebra 23, Queen Cup. That was the other one that I wanted to recommend, Queen Cup. I think that's everything. Oh, finally, if you don't know what your rising or moon sign are, there's a link down there. You can get a free birth chart by following that link. You just need to know your time and place of birth as well as your date. So, I think I've waffled enough. With no further ado, let me bring up the cards. And welcome Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon. and other placements. And if you are indeed Scorpio rising, this is occurring in your 12th house, which is the area of your life which is overwhelming, where you are yielding to a greater cause or power. It is also the house of endings. And I'll take you through the gods that I've got here. But this is the second attempt at filming this, because I was just telling you how magical this top row was, and then the camera just shut itself off. So let me get that in now. If this wasn't the repressive row, this would be beautifully magical, and it still is, because it shows the importance of what you are going through at the moment. We have Helios with cycles, Pele with purpose, Gaia with creation, the Mirai with the future, Hecate with crossroads. So, choices. We have the weight of the future on your shoulders, and that is, bear in mind, these are the repressive forces or the archontic forces. So are you going to conform to the same old, and just repeat the same old cycles, being given your own purpose in creating who really knows what? I mean, for a Gaia card, I'm sorry, that looks miserable. I mean, this is the Dark Goddess Oracle, so some of them do all seem a little miserable, but she's got a wonderful amount of power, but she looks scary on this. It's almost like she's heralding in the Armageddon here. She has butterflies in one hand and the sun in another hand, rising out of the earth against whoever it is that she's facing, because that face does not look happy to me. You have the weight of the future on your shoulders, and it has been made plainly obvious that you are at a crossroads. And bear in mind that every crossroads tends to have a crossroads demon, and crossroads are a very magical place. And so I'm saying the crossroads demon slightly tongue-in-cheek, because, well, if you've watched Supernatural, you know. But crossroads are indeed a place where you can communicate with spirit and do quite a lot of magical acts. Certainly in Voodoo and Hoodoo and Santeria, Candomblé, crossroads feature, but they also feature really strongly in Wicca and traditional witchcraft and all of that sort of thing. They are a very natural magic place of power, and this one is almost gone and landed plonk right in front of you. So your choices are being made perfectly obvious. Let's see what you've got on. Let me just pull back the window, see who you've got on your side. We have, for those forces trying to lift you up, Thoth with wisdom, Ma'at with justice, it's Papalotl with purification, Hestia with an inner fire, and Perseus with courage. Now, I think these two, Hestia with the inner fire, I mean, she is the goddess of home and hearth, but with hearth is the fire, and I also think that Hestia energetically is one step from, the fire in the hearth is one step from the forge. So Hestia and Hephaestus, to me, have quite a link, although I've got absolutely nothing to back that up in any mythology that I know. But also, it was Hestia that gave Wonder Woman her golden lasso that compels people to tell the truth. Hestia's lariat. So there is an element of finding your own inner truth and deciding what direction that you're going to take at this crossroads and getting on and doing it. So your inner fire is almost saying, stuff the future, or at least stuff what you say the future is going to be, because I'm going to write my own. But you've got to write your own after going through a process of purification. You have the wisdom to know that these cycles, must not repeat. If you're talking in terms of astrological cycles, for example, then every transit, every aspect, everything can go through various levels of vibration, levels of how you take advantage of the energies, levels of ascendance, for want of a better word. So if the cycle has to repeat, it can repeat better, or you can just say, no, that's the end of this particular thing. It is not going to get into the next cycle. Hello, cat. I think she wants my attention. But with these cycles coming up, deadlines are coming up. Deadlines are making themselves totally obvious to you. And this is why you are being given some form of purpose, some form of fake purpose, some purpose that is leading you away from where you should be heading yourself. But you are going to need personal strength for this. You're going into your 12th house. You have a chance of going into your long dark night of the soul, you know. And I highly recommend it if you have that opportunity. You have transformation here with AL. And interestingly, Imamiya with atonement of errors. So maybe there's something from the past that you're wanting to set right. That is strengthened again with Ma'at with justice. And Ma'at and Anubis both have been quite prevalent in these readings. But also with It's Papalotl, sorry. I'm going to read you what it says in the book, because I had to look it up. I'm not totally au fait with all the Mayan deities. So, are you allowing things to fester or to be swept under the carpet? Time to come clean and let it all out. Whatever it is you have been harbouring, money troubles, ill health, dark secrets, must come out into the light of day before they do you any more harm. None of these things can be sorted out by pretending to the outside world that they simply don't exist. You cannot continue on this path and hope that it will just all go away. Face up to your troubles now, otherwise they will only continue to have power over you. Take the first steps into the light as Its Papalotl invites you to the top of her incredible temple. From this wonderful vantage point, I didn't read this bit earlier, you will see the bigger picture. Allow this mighty goddess to give you the courage to purify the elements of your life that are causing you such dis-ease. Speak to someone, professional or otherwise, who can help. That, again, you know, I mean, even if we're talking about, hey, I'm in financial trouble, go and speak to a debt advisor. The future that they're being offered here would be, in the financial trouble model, bailiffs, debt collectors, debt agencies, and bankruptcy. But go speak to a debt advisor or financial advisor and there might be another way out. That's one example. But beware about being distracted onto the wrong purpose at the moment, because if you think it's only right that all things repeat themselves, it's not. And you know this. We have Thoth with wisdom guiding you here, and we also have the overall angel energy of the reading is the angel of peace. I open my heart and rest in the peace of divine love. Which I think there is a matter of trying to put yourself at peace here. Let me see if I can get I'll show you the card because they're quite bonny, but it might bring my camera into focus. That failed. Right, come on, camera. So, with the purification that It's Papalotl offers you, take it. Bring things up to into the open and just deal with them. Have the courage, access your own inner fire on that, and you take what exit you want at the crossroads. Hecate is a witch god for goddess, sorry, but she has 3 forms. a crossroads has 4 exits, and there's no saying that she's not guarding the end of the road you've just came out of. That means there's 1 free exit. So I'm not saying go back on yourself. Interestingly, because this top row alone seemed so very, very magical, I pulled one of the Syrian starseed, cat's trying to be deliberately cute down here, Syrian starseed tarots, and we've come up with the King of Cups, Master of Chalices. I love this card in that starseed tarot. It is so... There is an ocean within you waiting to be unleashed. So you can really use this path as long as you are not distracted and do not let cycles repeat themselves. The amount of power in this ocean, it looks still, but the eyes that are looking over it, this is his ocean. This is your ocean. I will get this camera to behave. This is your ocean. This is your dreams, your passions, and all of the undercurrents that flow within you. And that's a really important thing, especially if you're going into your 12th house business. So let's get some tarot on all of these. Yes, you're already wanting a new cycle to come around, but you seem to be acting defensively and wanting to create something, or planning to create something that is maybe not as straight and true as you would like it to be. But this offer of a crossroads, the either or, it's very definite. You know you have one choice or the other. Please, please, please take the choice where you are empowering yourself, not bowing down to another's will here. Because bear in mind, this whole top row, magical as it is, this is the archontic forces. This is the forces that are trying to separate you from your own divine nature. So on the bottom row we have Thoth, who is giving you the chance to level up. What was I saying about if you're going to go into a next cycle, you don't have to take everything into it. You can go into that cycle at a slightly higher vibration and access it differently and get different things from it, because it's just generally at a higher, more energetic, better level. Do it well this time, sort of thing. March with Justice is offering, right, so whatever this purpose is, you may already know that it's not that fair. And by pursuing that fairness, by pursuing that justice, that offers you a transformation. But you have to commit to that. You have to make the decision and commit to that. I really wish this camera would behave itself. So it's Papalotl. We have the Princess of Cups, which is forming that purification process, forming this new dream, unleashing this ocean of the Master of Chalices here. Hestia, Nine of Pentacles, you have everything that you need within you to set foot on whatever this path is. Do not believe whatever it is that this external force is telling you. Perseus with Courage, you are putting an end to some form of torment. The final Oracle of Heaven and Hell card we have here is Chavakia with Reconciliation. And I'm almost seeing it's like a reconciliation between you and your dreams, you and your passions, rather than being drawn away by yet another crossroads, yet another turn in the road, when there could be one turn in the road simply to get back on the right path. So Not at all heavy at all, eh, Scorpio? As I've said to you before, you're the sign of transformation. Transform already. But I think that process is well underway. And what you may be going through now is a period of crossing the I's. No. Dotting the I's and crossing the T's on this final transformation that you've been undergoing for a few months in these readings now. Certainly the stars have been doing their best to help you out. So if this means anything to you, Scorpio, please do comment down below. I've given you the like, share, subscribe speech. Join the Facebook group. You can see when I post my videos and the videos of the astrologers that I watch. And also you can contact me directly there if you're interested in a personal reading. And then finally, your next readings out will be your monthlies. See you soon, hopefully with a camera that will stay in focus.